welcome back, guys, and it is still the throwback edition of the show. And like you guys already must know by now, we try to keep Thursdays about the legends and the guys from way back that have been doing it for time. And today will be no different. Yes, guys, in the 90s, Nigerians were blessed with back-to-back hits from some of Ajegunle's finest. Yes, they were in control of the kinds of music that ruled the Nigerian music scene and even the dances we did as well. One of such people is our guest today. Dancehall musician, marvelous Benjy, is in the studio! Hey. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Hey! Hey! We have to dance with. I'm waiting to follow. Okay. You are such a vampire. Because this vampire like you didn't bring me here to abuse me. Yeah, because you see, I saw you some years ago, like some 3 years ago, was it? About 2 or 3 years. 2.5 years ago, you came here with the Nigerian like and all that. And then seeing you again today, like some people, you don't have fats in your body. Like what?
Well, it's natural with me. The size of my body, even if I like catch up. Well, I never know. Maybe after now, you know. Obviously, things can, changes can come in. The only thing that's constant is change.
Do you actively try to keep fit?
I still play football.
Okay. Oh.
I still play football, but I don't want to go sign for football club. Just to keep fit, And I do a lot of walking. I walk a lot, even if I have to.
What kind of work?
Walking.
Oh, walking. Okay.
I do a lot of walking. I just enjoy it, And what else? I don't eat much. I don't really eat much like that. I eat a lot of fruits and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Wow, give us some health tips!
Yeah.
Thank you for coming to the show. I really love that you can still move like that because it used to be such a thing in our house. Like, if you had to get that routine right, the galala to the makosa to the... And I wonder what you think about how the Nigerian music industry, the dance industry rather, in Nigeria has evolved over time. We've had Beku, we've had Bese, we've had Zanku, Shaku, all of them. Yes. So what do you think about the evolution of our dance industry?
Well, it shows, it goes far to show how the industry is, improving and developing. It's a welcome idea. I think dance is something that has to do with our culture, our tradition, and our lifestyle, especially for where I come from. I'm from Niger Delta. Our people do a lot of dance, and so it's a dance-oriented community. I also come from Ajegunle, so to see the dance steps evolve from it's just natural. If I was to be told that other dances will come after the ones we did, it probably might be just like I felt when I didn't even know that our dance, the Swo dance, was going to push.
So I was going to actually talk about that. You know how you just came with a new dance and it was Swo, you introduced it and it became a thing. So, that time when I interviewed you, you talked about having works, in the pipeline and all that. And, I was thinking that even if you're going to do something now, you're going to come with your own dance style. Do you think that, are you going to, let me even ask that question, like if you have to do a new song right now, it's coming with a new...
If it has to be about a dance?
Yeah.
Well, because when I had that dance, I didn't plan to do a song that has to do with dance. It just came up, so maybe it also can just come up. Now, unlike before, now, the improvement of technology and everything, the industry, you can premeditate to come up with a new dance, and you just put your arts together and put in the right technique and stuff like that, and you can come up with something like that. But then it just came up like that, and it just went that way. So
worked.
I probably might not have to do a song about dance. I probably might. I just don't know. Yeah. So.
Okay. We can have an OG in the building. I'd love to ask this question. You've been doing music since then, even up till now. Do you like what you see so far in the Nigerian music scene?
Fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic. Don't be surprised. Burna Boy can pick up the Grammy.
The Grammy this Sunday.
It's on Sunday.
Yeah, it's on Sunday. We're
Let's
definitely
have
going to be
more of
watching
this conversation. So you said fantastic. I'm so happy about that to hear that. Why do you think it's fantastic?
Well, you can see that we're getting closer to where we intend to be as an industry. In the diaspora, even in the Western countries, they are also looking into the African market. And when you talk about music in Africa, you talk about Nigeria. So it is good for it's good to sell out our country, the image of the country, you know, and it covers a lot of the negative side of the country.
Yeah, true.
So what they are doing now is really welcoming. It's, for us, it gives us the challenge to step up and try to move closer to trend and stuff like that. So it is very welcoming. I'm enjoying it. You know, I dance a lot. These new songs that are coming up.
You, so you dance, you can do Zanku, you can do Teshimole, you can do all.
I'm telling you.
Which one can you do?
Virtually all of them.
Okay, so let's test out this game.
Teshimole.
Because I know you
No, that
just came to
Teshimole
chill
one.
today. I know that one is a full
That
routine,
Teshimole one. Wait, where did they jump? I never learned that one. I never learned
but the
that.
one that you have mastered will do it. DJ, bless us with new dance again. Let's do this. Thing.
Is he going to go with it?
Yes, now.
We have to make it go with it. So whichever one you can do, I can't do this one.
Hella. Yeah, now.
Nagalala.
Zanku.
Baba ti dàgbà abeg. That Teshimole.
He said Baba to Dagba beg, like I'm too old for this. But
Still on that conversation before
yeah.
you chip in. So who are those guys that you're feeling right
that
about
you
now?
really like.
You see, something because I'm in a position that does not give me the privilege to criticize or to analyze, you know, because I'm an artist. I think I'm enjoying everything that's going on now. I'm enjoying Burna Boy. I'm enjoying Naira Marley. I'm also enjoying what's his name, Zlatan. You know, but I love Wizkid a lot. You know, I love Wizkid a lot.
I wonder what conversation you have or what you say when you see like new stuff come on and then you are watching, you're just in your living room, like a typical you in your living room, and then you just see this new song by Zlatan or Naira Marley. What comes to mind? What do you say?
I try to see how I can learn from it, what I can get from it, the content, how I can, because I try as much as possible to move with trend. I try to be relevant with my style of singing. So you don't expect me to sing the way I was singing like 10 years ago. Obviously it's different, but from the last song I did with Sound Sultan, it is clear that
I love that song.
I'm stepping up my game, you know, as much as I'm going over, you know, so.
I like that. I really like that, yeah.
Because, you know, involvement is just like the thing for everybody. Everybody should move. Because, and you don't hear people say this all the time.
Exactly.
Especially when they're old. They just want to stay there. They just don't want to.
To have been doing this and then to be able to say that you're picking up stuff from the new guys. I think that's fantastic, and that's fantastic humility right there. I wanted to ask you, we talked about, I think she just talked about Naira Marley and Zlatan and all that, and I'm sure you know the whole thing about Naira Marley and the whole FCC drama and the Malians thing. So I wonder, because we talk about artists being role models, I wonder how much of an artist's life do you think should influence their fans' lives? And I ask this because some of them are like, I didn't ask to be a role model, I just happened to be big, and you know, you guys are following me and I didn't ask for that. Yeah. So I just wonder, I don't know if you can find a way to just piece all that I've just said together.
Well, sometimes these things can be premeditated, like I said. You know, it can be as a strategy to market their content and market their brand. You know, sometimes it can be real. You know, the industry itself is a make-believe industry. I'm not saying that it came up with the story or to market its brand, but it is very possible. You know, but for the fans, what is more important is for the artist to achieve is objective and it's...
I'm sorry, let me ask that better. Yeah?
Okay.
Do you think that the artist has a duty to live their life in a way that the fans can
follow? People are looking up to you.
Exactly. Because you're a role model to people. Is there an onus on you? Is there a responsibility to live your life in a perfect, you know, upright manner?
Well, it's a personal thing.
Okay.
For me, I always want to be someone that people can look up to. So I always put that at the back of my mind. I think it's very important for my dignity, for my personality, and because of this, I try to be positive when I want to do my songs. You know, positively impact on the lives of the younger generation.
Okay. So I was reading.
It might be different from some other artists.
Sure.
Yeah, so.
I was reading an article about you, and so you were quoted to have said that, you know, you done, you have gone back to school, education, and then other businesses and that.
And family, especially.
And family. So you want to actually, you know,
shed more light on
shed more light on
but I
that.
think,
Well,
but before you do that, we have to quickly do a commercial break, and then we'll be back to talk some
Money
more.
is important.
Okay.
Yes.
The world go around. Wow, thank you so much, guys, for staying here with us. Of course, we've been speaking with the marvelous Benjy, and we still have him in the studio. We've been having some very interesting talks too, off air, but then we're going to try to include you and bring them in air. On air. All right. Okay, so we're talking about your daughter, and I asked you the question, like,
Destiny, wherever you are. Destiny, the yell.
I asked you about education, about other businesses, and then family. And you're just so proud to tell us that you have a 17-year-old daughter who's on her way to the university, and how you talk to her these days, especially with the fact that, you know, children these days, they want to be Malians, they want to like all the things going on, they are glued to the internet and all of those. So tell us, how are you being a good dad right there?
Well, like I said, it's always an individual thing, you know. But for me, the way I bring up my kids, you know, in relationship to the Malians, whatever we're talking about. But you see, I try to give them the leverage and the freedom to have a quality understanding of the difference between the good, the bad, and of course the ugly side of life. And because of that, I bring up my kids in a way that there's freedom, there's good quality relationship. From the day my daughter begins to hide anything from me, I think I failed. And because of this reason, before she was 8, I've always given her the total responsibility to make decisions on her own. But I'm there to give her advice, and the choice is hers. If she wants to do this, and she gives me, she asks for advice, I prefer that than for her to be doing it behind. So I just give her advice, and she has the choice. You know, in life we need options. When there are no options, you probably might end up doing whatever you have in your mind. Right. So she has options with me as a father to advise, but the decision solely lies on her. Except, of course, it's something that I struggle with, you know, and if she can give me a good reason, because sometimes we probably might not be right. Yeah. These kids these days, they know a lot of things. They are in this new world. So if she can give me a good reason, I can say, okay, well, by the end, you have it in the back of your mind that they told you. And
it has consequences.
My daughter is a big girl, fine big girl.
So because of time, I know that we have to talk about what's happening now with you. So go on,
so it be like that, you know.
Okay, let's talk about what Marvelous Benjy is up to these days, music-wise.
These days, we don't the old now, so we probably might not have to, you know, so anything that's happening to me now is not new to any artist that have been before, and, you know, it's that's the change of time and everything like that, you know. There used to be a time I was like everywhere.
In charge.
And after all these boys don't
take over.
That is not to say that we're not still relevant. Unlike in the Western community, you know, like even American artists like me and Agustin, the industry itself, I'm not putting the blame on the industry, but I think the industry can do more by having a quality blend between the old and the new sort of artists.
But
some promoters.
How?
Well, like for example, when some promoters do that and they call it throwback shows. Rugged Man did it, and some other guys used to do it. So they have a way they can spice up their event with the old and the new, bring, you know, together. So if we have that platform, I don't think artists like us will be, people will be looking for us.
So, Marvelous Benjy, when you say the industry, because I would believe that the people are the industry.
The entertainment industry,
Do you understand? Like, the industry
especially
is
the
not
promoters.
like an organization that is just there, like industry. As you say, we are Nigerians and then we are government.
Okay.
So, you know, so I think that maybe like the individual would have to like get up and say, let me do something with you and all that. And then it continues like that. Another person sees it, likes it, and it continues. And
like not just waiting for it to come to you.
Because the industry is not... Maybe the industry like...
Well, you know, it's very common for artists of our generation to be seen as artists that maybe don't have that cannot match up with the trend. You understand? It's always a problem. Most of these young artists, and sometimes I have discussion with some of them, and I feel like, what they look at us like is as we don't have the capacity to meet up with the trend. And I don't blame them. It is, you know, because a lot of us still sound like we used to sound like 10 years ago. It's not a problem. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not criticizing it. But personally, I always try to move with trend.
I think we definitely have to bring you back because there's so much to talk about.
When I say the industry, I really mean that the promoters. The promoters should always remember that these are the artists that laid the bed for the younger artists to come up. So,
interesting. Thank you so much, my developers.
Yeah, now you are go thank pass. Well, I like your voice, go on. And you too, and Paula. You know,
we'll definitely look out for more music from you, my brother.
Always a pleasure to be with you guys.
Thank you very much for coming. Ladies and gentlemen, Throwback Thursday is done and dusted.
Already?
Yes, sir.
Let's
finish.
My name is OJ. My name is Onipot. My name is Foladili. And of course, we had Marvelous Benjy in the building.